is covered by skin, everyone. So for example, I am one vertebrate, I am a man, I belongs to family, I belongs to class mammal. Similarly, one dog, that also belongs to mammal. Similarly, one crocodile, that belongs to what? Reptile. For example, one cuckoo, that for example one peacock, that belongs to what? That belongs to bird, that is the class bird. Similarly, one fish, Labiorhita, this belongs to what? That is the class fish. So all the members of the vertebrates are generally covered by one structure, by one organ, that is the skin. We know skin is there. And again we know that, for example, I am showing you, for example, this is my finger, and you see this is the covered by skin, and this finger has a nail at the tip, okay. So this nail, this hair, these are the derivatives of the skin. So what is integument? I can say integument is nothing but this is the skin with its derivatives. So what is the definition? Skin with its derivative, skin with its derivative constitute the integument. So this is our topic of discussion, that is the skin and or skin with its derivative is known as integument. And this integument or this system, that is the integument constituted system, we shall see one by one. So this integumentary system is the largest organ of the body. It is the largest organ of the body. You just imagine, for example, I am standing here, the whole of my body is covered by one skin. So what is the length of the skin? So if I become 5 feet, then the length of that skin is 5 feet. If I have a diameter of, for example, 10 inch or 10 for example 10 cm, then the diameter of the skin is 10 cm. So you just imagine whatever the body we will discuss, that is covered by one skin, hence the skin is the largest organ, or this is the integument system is the largest organ of the body. Then what the integument gives you? Practically it gives the shape. So what, for example, I am looking one dog, so this is a dog, for example this is an elephant. So the integument actually gives the identity, okay. So the integument of myself gives my identity, so it gives the shape and identity of the animal. It acts as boundary, so the integument acts as boundary, this is the boundary. So it acts as boundary between the organism and the environment, because I am one of the organisms, so I have a boundary, so I have a barrier from that of the environment. So this constitutes the barrier. And now we shall discuss, so what is the nature or what is the structure of that integument, we shall discuss. So what is integument? Integument is nothing but this is the skin and its derivative. So first of all we should know the skin, okay. So the skin means I am discussing about the skin of the vertebrates. So if I discuss one by one skin of the vertebrate, then it will be very difficult task. So that I am now taking one example, that is the human or mammalian skin, that specially the mammalian skin will be discussed now to know the all about the skin. So now mammalian skin is taken here for our discussion. So I shall discuss what is skin or how the skin is formed, that is the anatomy of the skin, or that is the mammalian skin. So I am now telling about the mammalian skin, okay. So mammalian skin, okay, mammalian skin. So mammalian skin, so for example this is my skin. So mammalian skin is consisted of 2 layers. So mammalian skin, so this is the skin, so this is covered by skin. So if I examine the skin, or if you examine the skin of the mammal, then mammalian skin is consisted of, so if this is the skin, then this skin is consisted of 2 layers, that is the outer epidermis, okay, and the inner dermis. 2 layers are there, that is epidermis and dermis, okay, epidermis and dermis. So 2 layers. Generally the epidermis is derived from, this is derived from ectoderm. So this is derived from ectoderm, from the embryo. Epidermis is actually derived from the ectoderm, or this is also cell which actually forms the outer covering, and these cells actually come from the outer layer of the zygote. So consisted of the skin is consisted of 2 layers, the outer epidermis of epithelial cells and the dermis or corneum, which is called as, this is also called as corneum, this is corneum, and this corneum comes from, this is corneum, and corneum comes from the connective tissue. Okay. So I am giving you the detailed concept. For example, you see this is for example one zygote. You see this is the zygote. I am now developing the zygote. This zygote, this is the zygote. So during development, these zygotes is divided into a number of cells by cleavage. So when a number of cells are formed, then these cells are organized in 3 layers. So for example, this is the outer layer, and this outer layer is called as ectoderm. So this is the ectoderm. Then the second layer, this layer is called as mesoderm, and the inner layer which actually covers the gut, that is called as endoderm. That is the endoderm. That means I want to say that every mammal or a zygote of vertebrate having 3 layers, the outer ectoderm, the second one mesoderm, and third one endoderm. The vertebrates where these 3 layers are present, they are commonly called as triploblastic. Okay. So now what happens? During development, this ectoderm actually gives rise a number of or variety of tissues. Similarly, this mesoderm develop different type of tissues, endoderm also develop different type of tissues. Usually this ectoderm develop a tissue that is called as epithelial tissue, okay, and this mesoderm develop the connective tissue. So now I want to say that what is happening in case of the skin, the outer layer is known as epidermis, and this epidermis is consisted of epithelial cells. This is consisted of epithelial cells, and these epithelial cells are derived from the germinal layer that is called as ectoderm. Clear? Okay. Similarly, the dermis, and this dermis is consisted of the connective tissue, and this connective tissue is actually derived from the embryonic wall that is called as mesoderm. That means the skin is consisted of epidermis and dermis, and epidermis is derived from ectoderm of the ectoderm of the primary germ layer, and the dermis is derived from the mesoderm of the primary germ layer. That means the skin is a combination of derivatives of 2 layers, that is the ectoderm and mesoderm. Similarly, ectoderm produces epithelial cells or epithelial layer, and dermis is consisted of the the connective tissues which is derived from the mesoderm. Okay. So this is all about the origin. So I shall discuss about the epidermis. So epidermis is derived from the ectoderm of the embryo. It is non-vascular. That means epidermis is not connected with the blood capillaries, so that this is non-vascular, and this is composed of stratified epithelium, that is, it is many layered. So the lowermost layer of the cell is called as stratum germinativum, or this is also called as stratum malpighi. This is active layer, divides by continuous mitosis. So I can now say, for example, I am now drawing here the rough diagram. I am giving a just idea about this, a rough diagram, not a fair diagram, this one. So I am just telling you. For example, this is the transverse section, or this is the TS of the skin. So now I can say that this is, for example, epidermis. So this is the epidermis, and this layer is called as dermis. Okay. So now this epidermis is again divided into a number of layers, so that this is known as stratified epithelium. That means this epidermis is consisted of a number of epithelial cells, and they are organized just layer wise, so that this is called as stratum or stratified epithelium. That means strata are present, and the innermost, this is innermost and this is the outermost. The innermost layer, for example, this is the innermost layer of this epithelium, or this is one layer of epithelium. So this innermost layer is called as this is known as stratified stratified or this is known as stratum germinativum. That means this is the stratified epithelium, that means this is consisted of a number of layers. The innermost layer is called as stratum germinativum, and this layer contains the cells which are active, that means they are the living cells and they are undergoing continuous mitosis. So, due to continuous mitosis, these cells now give rise to new cells, and gradually these new cells push up, they will go up. So, this is the process. Okay.